one question is, you guys do a lot of stuff, right? And you guys are basically business partners, but you're also life partners.
Absolutely.
Which is, I think, is 3 times as hard, right? So, my fiance runs a huge part of my business, and man, it is great, but it comes with its challenges. So how do you think you guys, how do you manage this? How do you do it?
My main thing is I try to stay in my lane. So I know what I have to do in my part of the business, and Jamie knows what she has to do in her part of the business. I don't ask too many questions on that side. I just, when something's not right on my end, that's when I pretty much talk to her about it. But just try to stay in your lane and do a good job, because I want to make sure she's happy with what I'm doing.
I think for me, we're kind of 2 totally different people, and we handle 2 different parts of the business. So Alex is what they call the rainmaker. He's constantly making rain with clients and agents and big on social media. I'm more of the problem solver, negotiator, back of the scenes type of person. So I think that's why it does work, because we're handling something totally different, even though we see each other all day long.
Yeah.
I mean, there's times we're going at it. But 5 minutes later, it's over.
It has to be very quickly. So, I think it works because, again, we're 2 totally different people. So I think that he's got a lot of energy. I'm kind of just the calm, laid back.
She's definitely one of my coaches as well. If it wasn't for Jamie, I wouldn't be where I'm at. And she definitely brings me back, because there's times I'm running full speed in the wrong direction. She's got to slap me in the back of my head, turn me in the right direction, get me jogging the right way.
Even when we listen to you, I think that through your coaching and things, it's just been amazing. I'll take something away from what you said, completely different than what he will. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a good mix.
Yeah. And then, so how do you guys, because one of the reasons why I wanted you guys to come on here is because there's so many people that I know that I coach, or that I'm in business with, or that are entrepreneurs, where they have a similar situation than you with you guys, and it's a challenge, right? So, I mean, I think when you're in business with family and when you're in business with your life partner, it's freaking 3 times as hard than, if not, right? Because there's all the other shit that plays into, the day-to-day business stuff. So how do you guys maintain, you got the business side, but then you got the relationship side. How do you maintain that so that you guys don't have problems?
What I think is the best between me and her is we're aligned. Yes, we have 2 different thoughts, but we are aligned on the same mission. We got the same vision, the same mission. We got 3 boys. We call them SOBs, son of brokers. So we got 3 boys, and we are on the same mission with them. We're on the same mission with the business, and we integrate everything. We integrate the whole family, our boys, her and I, and it seems like we're never working. Doing it that way, it seems like we're just together and figuring things out.
Yes, I think the destination, the goal is the same for the 2 of us. The journey on how to get there may be very different, but also we're not big dwellers. I'm not dwelling on something. So we could literally have an argument, and then 5 minutes later, all right, we have to do this now. And it's just because we have so much going on, we can't be sitting and simmering in one little issue for too long. We have to keep moving. So I think that helps too.
It's really important to, ask each other and work through what it is that you want, because a lot of times you're not even sure what your partner wants, and you're not sure what your partner doesn't want. So if you're going for one thing and they don't want that, you're definitely gonna have conflict.
Yeah. I think that's a very very good point you make, because I know in my situation, there's been times when it's I'm nuts, I'm just full psychopath. And she's like, dude, the simple shit makes me happy. I don't need all the shit you need, right? And so it's just finding that common ground and having that conversation of, you know what I mean? Because to your point, it was so the first time I actually really sat down and started asking those questions, it was damn, I never asked these questions before. And it was Brandon, I don't need any of that shit. That's cool that you want it, but I'm actually a lot simpler than that, I'm
certainly simple one.
Yeah.
I think Alex is much more like you than anything else, for sure. And I think for me, having that problem solving mindset, I think I can really just keep myself, he'll freak out about something. I'm all right, we're going to do this. Let's figure out what the solution is, and then keep moving, to get it done. I think that helps a lot too.
It does help too. Just like Jamie said, she's very simple. You know, I could literally take her. We go camping a lot. We could sleep on the floor, on the ground in a Walmart parking lot. It doesn't matter. She's happy. She doesn't have to go stay at the nicest hotels or be pampered. She's okay with any of that. And, you know, it goes a long way who's on the other end as well. If they're, because like she said, I'm a little bit more uptight than she is. I freak out a lot more than she does. I want things to be a lot, you know, more perfect than her. She's okay with, you know, just
I think that everything in life can be solved with time or money except for death. Like, I think there's just everything can be solved with, you know, with, so give it some time, give it a little cash. For death, I cannot take that. Can't change that.
Yeah. So you guys have been doing business together for a long time, right?
Well, we've been together with 26 years, and we've been in business. We've had our office for 12 years, but we've been in business even before that.
Yeah. So what do you think is, like, to the stage you're at now, you know, if you were to say, right, like you guys have had massive growth just since I've known you, right? I don't want to answer this for you because I know what my answer would be for you based on knowing you guys, but what do you think is, like, one or two things that, like, really propelled you to growth, to being able to do the investment, be able to build ancillary companies, be able to do all the things that you've done, which is a lot of shit, and still be able to, you know, deal with it all and handle it and be able to be successful at it? Like, one or two things you think is, like, this is what we did really well. This is why it worked.
Well, I guess, and going back to how Alex is and then how I am, he really is a risk taker, and he's a go-getter, and he does things like immediately. So the one thing that helped us in my eyes is the fact that he will execute immediately after hearing it. So we come to, you know, your events and you coach us and you tell us what needs to happen. He's immediately implementing it. And that for me has helped me grow because I'm a procrastinator and I am nervous and I'm not as much of a risk taker. So I think a lot of that has to do with his personality, and that is his personality in every area of his life. Yeah. Like, it is not just business. He's like that on the baseball field with the kids. Yeah. So it really does help really push myself and our team to do everything that he's, you know, taking us to do.
So with me, I would say definitely coaching. You know, you got to get into the right rooms. You got to get in proximity with the right people. Hearing you speak motivates me and gets me going. I've heard, you know, I've known you for a long time. I've heard you speak plenty of times. And there was a time also reading your book. You know, reading your book. You signed it for me, I want to say like 5 years ago. And, you know, I read it. And I remember that one of the last sentences was become the fucking Amazon of real estate. And I literally took it to heart. I was like, okay, I need to start building affiliate partnerships with everybody that I'm already doing business with. I need to start new affiliate partnerships. And what else can I tap into to bring in more income streams? My thinking is, like, you know, do less work, make more money. Yeah. And how can I do that? And how can I get more income? And how can I get one client to pay me many times instead of just once?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I was going to say execution. That was going to be mine for you guys. Just because, like, I've literally seen you guys do, like, I tell you something and the next day you're doing it, right?
And a lot of times it doesn't go well, but I still keep going.
We're doing too many things at once.
Yeah, but I think it's the fact that you guys go and execute. I mean, you know, your aim always gets better if you fire at a target. Eventually you'll hit it. Got that right? Sure. And I think another thing that too is when you guys when I've sat in rooms with you guys, whether it's my room or we're in a room together, you guys always take a shit ton of notes, right? And then anytime there's shares, if you guys stand up, you always share something insightful. And I think to your point of getting in the right room and getting the right coaches is so powerful. But I think the other thing too is some people will sit in rooms. Look, you guys have been in rooms with me for a long time. There's people that have been in rooms with me that don't do anything, right? And you guys implemented right away. But I think it's not just that. I think you guys are present when you're in the room, and then you guys actually go execute off of what you learn, which is not what a lot of people do, right? And so, like, I've seen you guys do that, you know, repeatedly. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you.
What do you think execution is a big one? What else do you think has kind of helped you guys along your journey? Obviously, the coaching and getting in the rooms.
You know, being really coachable. I think that's like one of my superpowers is like I keep a white belt mentality. I literally just don't know anything. That's why I keep telling myself like I don't know what I don't know. And I sit front row every single event I go to. Like you said, I'm breaking my hands with notes. I'm recording. I don't want to miss a beat. And another great thing is my team. You know, if I didn't have the team, the right people surrounding around me, then I wouldn't be able to implement these things. I'm not the most tech savvy. I don't know a lot of anything. So, but I do know to surround myself with the right people that do know these things that can, like Jamie said, I'm here to bring in the business. So I need these guys to take care of the rest.
Yeah, for me, I think it's the team for sure. I couldn't do any of it without them. And then just my ability to just be very honest when we're in a tough spot. Like, we're okay with letting you know, like, last year was a shit show. Like, what do we do? You know? So I think that just being able to be honest with the reality of your situation, because it's the only way you're going to change it, is if you admit to everything you're doing wrong.
Yeah, I think one thing I've experienced with you guys, and for those of you that are entrepreneurs that are listening to this, like, I think you guys are always willing to ask for help. Right. And I think that that's one of the things that, you know, when you start to get to a certain level, your ego actually gets in the way sometimes and you're afraid to ask for help. Right. And then like some people are even afraid to like, I don't want to ask my coach for help because I don't want him to think less of me. And I think the crazy thing is as a coach, I actually think more of somebody when they tell me that their shit is fucked up. Because it's like, well, that's what you hired me to do, to fix it, right? So it's like, if you tell me everything is good and it's not, then that doesn't make sense for any of us, right? And so I think that's one of the things I've seen you guys do repeatedly is, you know, ask for help.
Definitely not afraid to ask for help. And we're definitely not afraid to put our ego down. You know, that's obviously everybody, you know, high top performers, they all got a little something, but I am always willing to let it go. I need the help, and I'm willing to ask for it.
Another thing I want to touch on, it is one thing that I've seen you do really well, and I will talk about this until I'm blue in the face because I just don't understand why more people don't do it because it literally prints money. But you are consistent on social media. Like your social media marketing, like your shit is nonstop, right? And so like, did you start that one day? Where did that come from?
So before I got my real estate license and we opened up our office, I didn't even know what social media was.
Right.
I thought literally the feds were coming to get me if I went on Facebook or Instagram or any of that. I didn't want any part of it.
Yeah.
So we opened up our office, and for 6 months, you know, as soon as I opened, I got an assistant because I don't know how to use a computer. So I got my assistant, and on 6 months,
have you learned how to use a computer?
I have. Last year, I went to a bunch of computer classes, and I started learning. We're getting there.
He's got a short patience for it.
So she, for 6 months, kept telling me, Alex, let's get Facebook. No. And then finally, I'm like, you know what? I'm done looking out the window. Nobody's coming. Let's get a Facebook. So she creates me a Facebook, puts a post out there. First day, I get a buyer and a seller. And didn't cost me $1. Right. So I'm like, we might be onto something here. Next day, we post. More leads. And if you're not on Marketplace, you are literally sleeping at the wheel because I would get hundreds of leads a day through Facebook.
Yeah.
And for free. Didn't cost me $1.
Yeah.
And up until this point, I've never paid for a lead. Every single person in our database, all organic. And we've got over 100,000 people in there coming to our events. So instead of paying for leads, I just have events. Yeah. And then I get to meet the people one-on-one and really get all their data and follow up with them.
So what has marketing on social media done for your business?
It's changed everything. I mean, everybody knows who we are. I can't go anywhere without somebody knowing who I am or wanting to talk to me or wanting to take a picture or asking me some questions. So it's like I tell my team, you're not a secret agent. You didn't join the FBI. You're not in the CIA. You're a real estate agent. You're a marketer. You have to put yourself out there. Your own family, your own friends are doing business with other people because they don't know what you do.
Well, you touched on something else I've seen you guys do really well is you guys throw a ton of events, right? And, so obviously you can't fill an event if you don't market.
Absolutely.
But like when you did the grid launch when I called in,
Yep.
right?
Oh yeah. Oh, the one you did. Yep.
Yeah. And so like I've seen you guys pack the room, so I got to imagine that your social media plays a huge role in that.
Absolutely. If it wasn't for that, first thing I did as soon as I got here yesterday was make a video. Hey, look, I'm here, run a bunch of top producers, and you just got to put it out there. And even when you don't think anybody is watching, they're watching. There's a lot of creepers out there that are watching everything you're doing. They don't hit the like button, they don't share, but they know every single move you're making.
Well, and the flip side of that is there's also people that essentially you're selling to them, right? And you don't even know it. And then when it comes time for them to do business, they already feel like they have a relationship with you, right? I always tell people right now, like social media is the average person's TV. You're either a show they watch or a commercial they scroll through, right? And so the point you made of, which I think is super important, is that like people are always watching and you just don't know. And then like, I'm sure this has happened to you. You get a DM, hey, I want to invest with you. I want to sell. I want to buy. I want to be on your team, right? And it's like there's no sales friction because they're already sold. Right? Hey, I've been watching your stuff for however long. There's no sales friction. That's the shit people don't understand. Like that is the gold of what social media marketing will do for you.
We just had a builder. He's in the NFL. He reached out to us from Atlanta. That's how he found us. He found us on social media, and I started telling him about what I do. He's like, Alex, stop. You don't need to sell me anything.
Yeah,
He's like, I'm done. I'm not calling you for no reason.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, I already know. Yep. Yeah. So what are you posting every day?
Every day, all day. Yeah. So as much as I can, so obviously I have life in the way as well, but
of course.
Anything I'm doing, I try to, sometimes a little too much, I think. I'm pulling out my camera, I'm recording, I'm trying to make sure I get as much content as I can, because even if I don't use it today, I can use it in the future.
Yeah. So it's to your point, you're thinking, moving and operating like a marketer.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
And then Jamie's picking up the pieces behind you.
Yes.
I try to get her to post as well. She does.
The little bit that I do is because of him. It
Right.
really is because of him. And I think that a lot of times I'm like, well, why do I have to? You do so much. And I'm doing this. So it's like, but he tells, it's like he's a stain on their brain. I mean, it really does make a huge difference. And people are just showing up. I mean, people know, they meet me and they're like, how's the boys? And I don't even know who they are.
Yeah.
like they're great. Thank you so much for following us.
That's
Or they even know the boys.
Yes.
I mean, social media makes people think that they're, again, they know you, they got a relationship
Which is great.
with you.
It's almost like an icebreaker to start having a conversation, when people are shy. So it's good.
I'm going to ask you guys two more questions before we wrap. One question is, anybody who's listening to this, what advice would you give them? I want to hear both of your answers.
Go ahead.
What advice would you give them? Just advice of like, hey, this is a piece of advice I would give you to help you get to where we are. And I want both of you to answer this question.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
Since you're thinking.
Yeah.
So I would tell you this, okay? There's going to be a lot of pain. There's going to be a lot that you're going to have to go through, but you have to keep going no matter what happens. God's got you. You just have to keep going, and you have to believe. Even when it's not working, you're still making micro deposits, and you have to keep moving forward. And no matter what happens, how much pain you go through, keep going. What's on the other side of it is amazing.
I think for me, the best thing that's really helped myself, and I think agents as well, is just dipping into the emotional aspect of just dealing with humans, because we are not we don't sell houses. We literally, they're like coming on this journey for an emotional experience, and you have to listen to them, and you have to be genuine, and you have to be empathetic, because if you can't solve their problems in a way that's going to work for them, they don't need you anymore. So it's good to be able to dip into like really what they need and just dip into the emotions of the
that's a good
humans that you're
point.
dealing with.
I think the other thing too is like post-COVID, like I think the emotional frequency of the average person is just like it's people have a lot of fear, people have a lot of anxiety. And like people don't want to be sold to, right? Mm-hmm. They want to be, to your point, they want to be led on a journey. They want to feel safe. And I think that, without emotional intelligence and empathy in any business right now, you're going to get smoked, because the average consumer is that's not what they're looking for. Very, very good points, both of you. last question. Well, first of all, how can people find you guys?
You can find me on social media, Alex Corona. You can find me on any social media. We're on all of them. Or our website, coronahomesteam.com.
Same with me. You can also call me 708-259-6242. I do text messaging. He wants a phone call because he's a dinosaur.
So last question I always ask everybody. We call this show Wake Up to Wealth. 2 reasons. I always wanted to be wealthy, and I learned very early in life that we were never taught about money correct, right? So two things I want to do on the show. I want to show people what's possible of that they can become wealthy, but I also want them to wake up, like from an intelligence standpoint, that what's out there in the world to become wealthy. So I ask everybody this at the end of the show, and it's whatever answer you want. What does waking up to wealth mean to you? Both of you, I want your answers.
Okay. Understanding that you don't have to come from money, that with any background, you can be from the streets, you could have no family whatsoever. It's possible for anybody to make the kind of money that considers you wealthy. And then for me, I think it's just being at peace, like being at peace with the business, being able to see the kids. Money's never going to make me happy, but it sure is going to make life easier.
Yeah. Great answer. How about you?
So for me, it definitely is being able to do what I want, when I want, with who I want. There's no doubt about that. I'm chasing freedom.
Yeah.
You know, that's definitely what I'm doing here is I want freedom for me. I want freedom for my family, everyone around me. I love seeing people win, and I just want the whole world to win.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate both of you guys. It's been awesome, riding with you guys for a long time and watching your growth and seeing you guys continually evolve and grow. And I greatly appreciate you guys taking some time. We're actually in New Orleans together because I'm throwing an event that they're going to be a part of tomorrow. So I really appreciate you guys coming on the show and spending some time with us.
Well, we appreciate you and all your support. And
as you see, I'm speechless. Or I can't even get it out.
we just love you.
Yeah, it's okay. I love you guys.
Thanks so much, Brandon. Thanks for everything you've done for us, and it's our pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having us.